My name is PearlescentMoon and welcome back to Hermitcraft Season 9, Episode 31. Last episode, we finished off 2022 with Secret Santa pranks and our Empire's friends going back home to their own server. And yes, this absolute abomination of a mess will be fixed, don't you worry about that. For 2023, it's time to finally make our entry into the new year nice and big. I have been talking of the centerpiece of this mega base for quite some time now, and I am finally ready to get into building. So, this is what we're starting our episode with today. However, before we get started, it is worth noting that this project has an estimated resource need of approximately 82,000 blocks. So first things first, some resource prep. Ignoring the fact that I am now down a netherite pickaxe and stacks of diamonds, this chest right here in this corner holds everything that I am going to need for our centerpiece feature build. And to make things easier for me, everything is also color-coded as to what is in each of them, and it's absolutely fantastic. Haha, nice. I gotta say, I'm as excited as a rabbit doing some happy stomps to get started on this thing. Before we jump into it though, I did do a couple of small details around the base during the holiday break, so let me show you those real quick. When we built these buildings a couple of episodes ago, you may remember that it had no interior, it was just a facade. Yeah, well, these buildings are now currently holding my chest that I'm going to be using for our project. This is this area in here. We just kind of cleaned it out. I dug out all the terrain and added some temporary walls in here until you figure out what kind of interior you want to make for the space. And no, none of these chests are filled. It is literally just the one in the corner right here. I started the dig for our tunnel into the human civilization space, the one I was mentioning that was going to go underground. It was really bothering me that the terrain was just peeking through behind the two buildings that we'd made, so I just decided to do a little bit of a dig to get this started. Plenty of space so far to get the idea across. Shaved off the top of the two buildings that mark as the entry point for the tunnel because I felt the area was messy. And I still believe it can do with a little bit more tweaking, but it's a start. Added some cute mushroom decorations off to the side here, like a little small garden, and some extra texture to the path with the rooted dirt and regular dirt mixed into the coarse dirt. It kind of creates a pretty nice gradient for the area in general. And also added a cute tunnel from the buildings on the second level down to the first for easy walking accessibility. And well, these types of areas I will detail over time, but at least you can walk around properly now. With all of that spoken for, I am now ready and rearing to go to get this feature piece down that's going to fill in this entire area right here. It is time for us to wait no longer, and it is time for me to roll that time lapse for you to see. All right, let's go before I crash into Gem's base. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. The build has its base down, and I figured it was on theme to put on our little costumes that Scar gave us last episode to show you around the build, because, you know, they kind of feel a little alien-like in their own green, large way. However, I'm going to do something a little bit funky today, and not to do the initial commentary of showing you around what I've made myself. I know this may seem quite random, honestly very, very random. But I was talking to a closer friend of mine in a call about the completed build at the time, and they started creating an entertaining narration of said build that I felt was actually quite a fun take, and well, I had to record it. So, with their permission of course, here is a fun little clip of them doing some commentary with a little fly around to show you what's been made.
Hello everyone, you don't know me, and I'm just an anonymous art critic. But we do know something. We know art. We know creations. We know wonder when we see it. Now, in the background, we have this absolutely delightful, gorgeous plant created by PearlescentMoon. We have the tendrils reaching to the sky, yellow in the center for a contrast, blue petals, greeny vines, purple here and there. Look at it, springing from the ground itself. Truly a wonder to behold. Aren't you amazed? I'm amazed. Let us all gaze and wonder together and make a collective ooh, ah, Don't you enjoy it? I enjoy it. That's my review.
Well, there you have it, our first initial show. Thank you very much to my close friend. I can't actually give them a proper shout out because they don't have any social media right now for me to shout out. So just a huge thank you for their lovely narration of the initial fly around of the build, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But anyway, essentially yes, there is the build. It's done. It's looking lovely. I'm quite happy with it. It's very proud. It's one of the biggest things I've built, I think, yet in Hermitcraft. And we have the lovely lush vines that continue all the way around the build. I didn't really show much of the back in their commentary, so let me just fly back here and let me show you that yes, it does have a back. Alas, it's not as detailed as the front. We still have a lot of different details that we do need to add. At the end of the day, this is actually just the base blocks that I've so far used in the build. It's just there to get the colors down, and over time we're going to be detailing and adding all those fun, really cool little bits to really bring this thing alive. But I'm happy with it so far. Looking forward to adding more to it. And you guys let me know what you think of our initial placement down in the comments below. Oh, and check it out from above. It looks really cool up here. Hold on. Let me fly up. Yeah. Fly. Look at that. Look at that flower top. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, I love it. Yes. I will have to say as well that every time I now add something to this place, I'm getting more and more motivated to just build this up and create a fully immersive environment. It's definitely getting there with all the extra little like story pieces we're adding with the human civilization, with the giant feature mother plant, whatever we want to call this now. Little plants dotted around the place. It's really making it feel like it's coming together, and I can't wait to expand this even further. Quite recently though, I have particularly found some new inspiration from fellow lovely two hermits, Tango and Scar, who actually use sounds in their bases for atmosphere, where they can actually walk around bases and hear the actual base come alive in their ears and not just visually in their eyeballs. I know the way I explained that seemed kind of strange, but it makes total sense, okay? Let me kind of just show you their bases and give an example of just how cool it is. So our lovely Tango here has been building Decked Out 2, and that is something I'm super, super excited to play because, of course, I didn't get to play Decked Out number 1. I think I came either the season after it or just one of the seasons following. And in this one, he has made the base feel alive with a heartbeat. Now I'm just gonna be able to find my way kind of close enough to let you hear the sound of that though. Okay, I was gonna show you Tango's, but upon a bit of searching around, he hasn't actually got the heartbeat activated at the moment. So unfortunately, I can't show you his, but it's super cool. So you should totally check out his videos to see what I mean. But it's okay because Scar has his operational. So we're gonna go check that out and you're gonna absolutely love it. This is honestly such a gorgeous build. Scar, you're amazing. My gosh, it's still very Christmassy here, but it looks absolutely brilliant. And check this out over here too. He's built this new area over there to be putting his fancy castle on top of it when he builds it. This is coming along so well. Look at the stylized trees. Ah, beautiful. But anyway, we're here, we're waiting because his act actually activates when the sun goes down. So this is perfect timing. Unfortunately, we have come on a day where it appears no one has their background music up and running. Of course, Tango's was off and Scar may or may not have turned his off, but I did know where the disc was, so I kind of just grabbed one for now, just so I can kind of example what the tune is supposed to be and the atmosphere that Scar has created here, because it's absolutely magical. So I'm just going to do a quick example and then we'll go put it back. But we do have to wait till the sun sets because it is the disc for the closing of the theme park, and it's so neat. So we're going to do that. We'll go a little bit to wait though. It's noon. That's a much better time of day. There we go. Dusk, which is exactly when this track usually gets played. So let me pop it in right now and let's just kind of soak in the atmosphere that this creates, because I love it. My gosh, let's go. Whoop.
Attention, one and all, Scarland has now concluded its normal operating day. We thank you for joining us in this land of adventure, fantasy, and exploration. We hope you enjoyed your day in Scarland and hope to see you again real soon. Remember, Main Street will continue to operate for 1 additional hour for your shopping and your delicious snacking needs. Good night and goodbye.
And there we have it. That is an absolutely brilliant thing. He has an opening track and a closing track for his park. And we're also going to get out here because it's apparently not Scar safe, let alone Pearl safe. So now that we've seen that, I would love to create a custom piece for this base, or even commission one at some point in the future to really amplify the mood that we are trying to create in our own beautiful environment. But for now, I do have kind of an example disc that I've grabbed from Epidemic Sounds. That is the website that I use for all of my music in my videos and my streams. And I think it's a beautiful example of what I would like to create myself. It's literally just that. Just some subtle wind, some chirping birds, maybe a light rustle here and there as you walk through the very lush, very flora-filled area that I have created for my mega base. And I think it would be gorgeous. What I think about when I listen to this track, though, is falling leaves and just general movements. And at the moment, well, we have the color, we have the pop, we have the lots of flowers and beauty, but what we don't have is movement in this place. There's some portal particles over there, but otherwise there just really isn't much of it. I'm kind of feeling like one of the first ways that we can really create a little bit more movement in our place, and to maybe even simulate falling leaves, is to do that with some spore blossoms. They create beautiful green particles that flow down from wherever they're placed from. And I really want to put some of those around the base. Well, let's grab a few of our friends here. We've only got 9, but we can kind of spread those around and see how it looks and feels after we do that. I'm thinking one of the easiest places for us to put these and hide them without them particularly being seen in this zone is to just stick them inside the mushrooms. So that'll create a nice little particle effect there. Now if I can just put that back. Whoops, there we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Already more movement, more immersion when walking through the environment. I think that's gorgeous. I really would love if there was maybe some more purple particles that I could use in this instance. I did think about ender chests, but the particles really don't spread very far on the ground, so I kind of opted against those. But the green ones for now, I think they kind of get the point across. So let's put a few more of these around the place. I think right here, as soon as you come out of the portal, is going to be a good spot. Just chuck it in there, nice and easy. Put that one back. Beautiful. Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, that's lovely. That's lovely. I really like the particles in the air. It's just gorgeous. Can hide one in one of the new mushrooms that we've built. These could do with a bit of texturing in the future as well. But like I said, these are all the base blocks at the moment. Lovely. And how about another right next to these buildings here? Boop. Beautiful. Right, so we've got some particles going on, and that's a good step. But I can't help but feel like, of course, we have some areas like this that just kind of break the whole immersion thing. I don't have any particular zone in this base that is really just satisfying to walk through. It's kind of better looked at from further away. And that's something we really do need to work on. I'm thinking one of the first steps that we can do to help that along is actually maybe to build some normal trees? I guess normal trees in an alien sort of way. I'm thinking we could use some mangrove wood for this. A little bit of mud. Maybe some walls. Oh, looks like we do need a little bit more dried mud. Some spruce fences, variety of leaves. And that's pretty much all we need for this. So let's go build us some trees, shall we? Seeing as we've got this spot, we might as well use this one to experiment a little bit. I was thinking we can start off with a little bit of a base of mangrove wood, and then we can transition it up to a very thin stalk with the mud brick walls and the spruce fences. And then we kind of create the tree sprouts after that with the little branches, with the fences and whatnot, and we can even go back to a thicker trunk after even going to some thinner sections. It's something a little different from your earthly tree and maybe different enough to be alien. I don't know, it's still definitely going to be a mix of the human civilization and the alien side of it. Maybe we can think of it as if they made some sort of hybrid tree, right? Who knows? And a bip, and we have a tree, you know, just a lovely little funky tree. It goes a little bit thicker in the middle, a little bit bigger at the top, and it has a little bit of a splash of darker leafage inside it as well as the azalea. And I don't know, I kind of like it, and I definitely think this base, I reckon, could do with a few more of these as well. So let me kind of just go around and build a few more, and I'll bring you guys back in real quick. I've only added a few trees just to get the point across to kind of get us started on the idea here, but I quite like the extra little bit of fluffy green poking up from the ground. It's not just isolated to the green concrete blocks and the moss and everything like that. I think it adds a nice little fluffy charm to it. And if we fly down and walk through here, I think it really helps just adding that little bit of extra flair to it. And if we let the particles settle in as well, there we go. I don't know, it's quite lovely. This is the same area we were in before, and just that little extra addition, I feel like does help. But what do you guys reckon? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, let's just kind of see what it is paired with the music disc. How are we feeling? What do we think about that? What do we think about that? I think it definitely has that feeling that I definitely want to lean towards in the rest of the base. But it's a start, it's an idea, and we're going to be slowly working on that across the season and hopefully making it feel just a lot nicer to walk through instead of just kind of awkward. Anyway, we are taking off the little green ears for now, and we're going to have a little bit of a building break because so far all this episode has been is kind of building. So it's time for us to kind of relax a little bit and tune into our cleaner lady role and check out how the server is faring after all the Santa pranks, because I think there's going to be a little bit of mess left behind. Obviously, one of the ones we need to go and visit is green, and I've got a little bit of a different idea for that one for now. So I could, theoretically, just clean this up, and that's what I was going to do. That's what I did mention originally in the Secret Santa prank, but I kind of feel like toying with him a little bit is a little more fun. I know I'd be super satisfied to get this cleaned up, but I kind of just want to mess with him a little bit because he's been messing with me the entire season with this chest monster. He knows how much it pains me so I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. I've got a group of chests here, a bunch of chests here, and what I'm thinking is every day I get on the server, I'm gonna pop back here, and I'm just gonna add a chest to the pile, you know, just add a little bit of a chest, maybe grab a few items, stick some items in the chest to make it look like it's part of the monster, and just see him slowly, you know, maybe notice or not notice that his chest monster is expanding. And then if he doesn't take care of it, well, maybe that might turn into a little bit of a monster problem of sorts, so much so that he would have to call upon the cleaner lady. No free services here, sir. You can't trick me into cleaning your shulker monster for free. That's not how this works. Maybe another one for good measure. Right, so that is my plan for this little Secret Santa gift prankage for now. But another thing that I would actually really like to do around the server is channel my inner cleaning lady or the outer cleaner lady, whichever it makes the most sense, and start to build a few garbage bins in places that are the most problematic to have a bit of a mess. I've gathered up a few resources here so I can build a few around the server if need be. We can just chuck a little bin down here. Boop, boop. Doop, 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 doop. Unfortunately, the color of the copper isn't going to be right until it oxidizes, but, you know, just chuck a little bin down here, right? And we're going to add a few signs, give them a little bit of a glow up. Boop, boop, boop. And there we go. We have a garbage bin for all those people that like to create a mess and maybe just can't be bothered sorting it and putting it away. Twinkly Trash Co., garbage bin, trash pickup every Friday. So the idea is I'm going to add a multitude of these around the server so that people can just lazily chuck in whatever items they don't want, and then every Friday I'll come around, pick up what is in the barrels if anybody even decides to use them, and put those into the trade section of the shop. So I don't profit off of this. It just goes straight back into the server for anyone that may want those garbage resources for building any of their bases. And now that we have the main culprits bin down, let's go find a few other places to add these to on the server. I'm thinking another one of our main culprits here is Scar, and I do know he comes down here somewhat often to... That's his hat. Somewhat often to kind of dump his resources and do whatever. So I'm going to put one of the bins down here where it's not out in the open until I know Scar maybe wants one publicly seen. I don't know. Let's build one. There we are. One bin for Scar. Moving on. And I'm thinking another great place for some trash bins is maybe in the shopping district, because that seems to get the most traffic of people. So let's chuck a few of these down. Maybe 2 or 3 around the place. One right next to the portal seems pretty fitting. Another one walking up to the entrance of Impulse's massive iBuy store. My gosh, look how big it is. Looking around the shopping district, I don't actually think we're going to need any more bins here. Those 2 locations that I put them in are probably going to be generating the most traffic. And I've also got another bin at my own trash shop that we built originally anyway. So I think that's kind of enough for this particular location. Seeing as we do have 6 more hoppers and each bin takes 2 hoppers each, we can build 3 more if we want to. I'm kind of thinking we can definitely use one at our soup group base location, our big base area, because, you know, Impulse and Gem, they have a lot of like resources that they tend to just dig up and then throw away. So I think that's one place we can put them. Looking around, I may have to make a bit of a temporary bin because I don't actually know where to put one without kind of impeding Impulse and Gem's base, and there's no point putting it in mine because I already know it exists. So I'm just gonna plop it up here for now, and we'll remove it later on when we want to build up the area. Okay, there we go. One garbage bin for the messy soup eaters. It is a little bit more out of the way, so it's not kind of a bit of a sight for sore eyes, but it should be enough for them to see it and want to just take a look at what it is. And another location I was thinking of is Impulse's industrial district, because obviously that has a lot of output in some places, and sometimes he just throws a bunch of stuff on the ground to despawn. I know, I've gone and collected it before. He said take it if you want it. So let's give him an actual bin to put some of that stuff in instead. And that's about right here next to his villagers. There we are. I think that fits in quite nicely. Beautiful. And then we have one more bunch of hoppers to use. You know, I actually don't know. I've got no clue where I'd put this one and who has a bit of a shulker mess. So if you guys have any ideas who really needs one of these garbage bins, let me know down in the comments below. But I guess for now, that's enough garbage bins on the server to get us started and see if people actually use them. They may not, but you know, it's worth a try. And if they want to remove them, they're also most welcome to. It's not just gonna sit there and be an eyesore in anyone's bases, or if it's in their way, you know, just remove it. It's fine. However though, everyone, with all of those bins now placed and our base now succinctly built up, that is actually going to be the end of the episode for today. We have done quite a bit of work today, and it was very much needed to come back to the base and actually get some stuff done. And you know what? I'm super happy that we finally got that piece placed in, at least in its base form. I'm very excited to see, you know, what I do with it next, because sometimes I just don't know until I place those blocks. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. But for now, well, I'll see you in the next one. Hope you all had a wonderful new year, and I hope it's going well for you so far. Alright, till next time everybody, you all have a good one. Goodbye! Goodbye everybody. Goodbye. That's Big Flower. Boop.